Charles LeBlanc here. This video could be maybe 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes of me. But right behind me is the Crown Plaza. And at the Garrison Room, I think that's one of the room on top, the activists that are fighting to save Officer Square has announced a news conference for 11 o'clock. It's 3 minutes after 11. They're concerned against idiot mayor and council. All of the councilors, they're done in this election. They're like sheep. They're following that idiot all over the place. Anyway, so they're very concerned, and the trees are going to come down. Woodside. The end Woodside could be coming back. Idiot Mayor Michael Bryan made himself very clear that those trees are coming down. So they have a news conference. What's it going to accomplish? They're finding out. I remember the first protest they had there a few weeks ago. They had a lawyer there. Well, this is against bring this in court, injunction and everything. And those old activists were looking in the back saying, my God, what you wait till, you know, they were like saying, oh, the mayor is elected by the people and the mayor must listen to the people. And we were just looking around and saying, you wait till they find out the mayor tells them to go take a hike. I'm not going to swear. But anyway, so this thing here is just continuing. Council do not listen to the people. So is there going to be councilors at that news conference? I don't think so. They're going to be politicians at that news conference. David Kuhn, he's the MLA, he voiced his concern. And what I'm going to do is media going to be there? Myself, I never interviewed them because they don't feel too comfortable with me. I don't know why. But they're dealing with, like I said, it's a different style of activists. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to walk in there and we're going to film for 15-20 minutes. But the bottom line is the mayor, he wants that theater in the corner stage for the Harvest and Jazz. Oh, they have a beautiful time. And a nice rink. I don't know why. The trees are going to be gone because council don't listen. If you listen to that idiot yesterday in here, what do they call it? State of the city. Anyway, he just, you know, again, idiot. We got 22 months left of that idiot. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now and just put the camera on and let's see. I say there'll be maybe 10 people there. Oh, Global is there. No CBC. 5 after 11. See. Oh my God, looks like a full house. No.
And this is called Revitalization of Fredericton's Great Public Space, Officer Square Performance Stage. If you're trying to find this on the website, you will have to press on a button that says News Release, May 22nd, 2018. To my knowledge, this is the first time that we were presented with the new plan for the concert hall and the magnitude of work that would be done for the skating rink. That is just a very short time ago. It's not 3 years of consultation. Learning that provincial heritage permits from the Minister of Heritage and Culture were not obtained prior to the city awarding contracts for the roadwork, which led to the tree cutting and the demolition of part of the historic wall. further diminishes our confidence that the standards and criteria that apply to this National Historic Site are being adhered to, and the site is being conserved in a manner that's befitting to its heritage status. We call on the City Council to do the following. Immediately stop all work on Officer Square and to develop a detailed plan containing all the proposed changes as committed to on page 25 of the Master Plan Garrison District. Consult with the public, including Indigenous and First Nation people on the plan, providing sufficient information such that the citizens can be reassured that the character-defining elements of this National Historic Site will be maintained. Our group asks that all character-defining elements be restored, conserved, and protected, and we will only accept a plan that does that. Obtain all necessary permits from the provincial government, including written agreements that the City of Fredericton has fulfilled any and all functionary duties to which it has agreed upon when acquiring Officer Square. We are certain that Mr. John Ames had Mr. John Ames known the details of the cultural destruction of the square that we have described here, he would not have signed off on it. Luckily for him, he also has the power to compel a heritage impact statement and consult widely and even revoke those licenses. And we call upon him today to take such action. Hear, hear. Citizens who value Officer Square and its mature trees are encouraged to attend the upcoming meeting the city representatives will hold. Will be held on Tuesday, June the 26th at 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Delta Hotel on Woodstock Road. You are also invited to join our Facebook group, Save the Elms of Officer Square, and to contribute to a pending GoFundMe Legal Defense Fund, which will be launched in the upcoming days. Thank you so much for attending. It means so much to us to see you soon. So, we have some other guests that we would like to have to speak. Can we start with you, Marie?
Hi, my name is Maria Turley. I have served on the Maliseet Advisory Committee on Archaeology for over 10 years. And in December, upon the retirement of the Maliseet Heritage Specialist, I assumed the role as acting co-chair for the advisory committee. Since then, there has been a breakdown in communication with the Director of Arch Services. At the meeting where the City Council representative attended with MACA, I was not present. However, I did receive the draft minutes submitted by the Maliseet Heritage Specialist. Once that is submitted to the director and the regulator, the minutes where it came back changed. It is unclear who changed the minutes, but in the draft minutes, concerns were brought up from the MACA representatives. So, as of now, I have submitted complaints to the executive director, Mr. Thierry Arsenault, and there has been a communication breakdown with him as well. So my next step is to submit the complaints to the Minister, John Ames, and I have submitted a complaint to the Federal Minister, the Honorable Melanie Jolie, for heritage. As Parliament has gone on break for the summer, I am not sure if Ms. Melanie Jolie will respond. So any further complaints for the Worcester gig should be submitted to John Ames if you want to conserve Officer Square. And for the non-natives that are here to preserve that heritage as well, to continue your efforts to save this historic site.
I'm an intern interior designer, and I will be representing Jason Gendron today as he is in the field. So just have a little bit. I apologize if I read off of this completely and don't actually look up. Yeah, so he has to say, "Good day. I'm going to address some of the ongoing destruction of our nationally significant history at Officer Square. And then I'm going to touch on the planned loss of our provincial heritage place by the city of Fredericton. As you'll have noticed by now, a long section of the historic wall has already been destroyed, and a 3-meter strip of the National Historic Site has been lost and hauled away for use of landfill. This activity alone has resulted in the loss or alteration of 4 of the listed character-defining elements, such as the size of the square, the 19th century fence, large mature trees, and the non-renewable resources, archaeological resources. Within the archaeological record alone, we know that significant British and early Canadian military remains are present. This relates to the securing of the new capital city in 1784 and the birth of the Royal Canadian Regiment in 1883. It is also quite likely that there are remains of Acadian and Loyalist occupants. Perhaps most significantly is the cultural remains of up to 8,000 years of Indigenous land use may also exist at Officer Square. The current level of damage is immense at roughly 225 meters squared. However, in the next phases, it is expected that as much as 6,000 meters squared of nationally and provincially significant archaeological resources could be destroyed. It is imperative that the city of Fredericton halt the destruction of our non-renewable cultural resources as required by the Heritage Conservation Act. Our provincial heritage place must be conserved. By ignoring the archaeological professional standards and ethics, the city of Fredericton is responsible to all Canadians for needlessly destroying an important piece of our past.
Good morning. My name is Chris Massard. I'm a professional forester and unabashed tree hugger. Now this is a very important site, Officer Square. Okay, it's a federal and provincial heritage site. And there are rules and regulations, and this site also used to belong to the British Crown, and they transferred it to the province with very strict perpetual care stipulations on the care of this. Further, the laws, the National Historic site laws and the provincial heritage place laws recognize these character-defining elements, which we're here today for. The trees and other aspects of the park. Now, if the proper priority was given to these trees, they could be worked around. And the infrastructure that the city's building could make room for these trees. And they just have not done that. And in the regulations it says that they cannot be touched unless they are conserved. And this cutting, if they wanted to cut a tree or two, we might have been able to live with that. But to come out to us and say they're going to cut all the trees in Officer Square is way over the top. We're just not going to accept it.
Yeah.
So it's back to the drawing board.
Yes.
Here, here.
And as Beth did mention, we're starting a crowdfunding legal defense fund. Now, I can assure you that what is being done to this heritage green space in our city center is not just a travesty, but a short-sighted and counterproductive move that makes no sense in terms of the preservation of this nature, this site, this heritage green space, and all the cultural aspects to it. For example, with the archaeological aspects, we know it is a known indigenous archaeological site. 8,000 years has been mentioned here. The regulations say test pits must be dug first to determine what they're going to find.
Nothing.
No. Now they've subsequently come up with these monitors, which regulations also say that monitoring cannot be done in the absence of test pits. They're just not following any of their own laws. So, we are here as a group, and we are getting bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing I would like to say is this whitewashing that we're getting from the city and all of this consultations that they're doing. And this, would you hold up that heritage plan? This is some kind of conceptual plan, right? And yet they say that all of these things, they've discussed all of these things. They've discussed what they're doing. And they're not. They've not. Inside that plan it says bird surveys, for example, need to be done. It says this needs to be done. It says that needs to be done. Social. None of them have been done. And this was out in 2015. And so we're calling for the city to stop this development. And we're serious.
We will take some questions, of course, but I also want to make sure that everybody knows the meeting that's going to be on Tuesday the 26th at the Delta Hotel, that we will be expanding on the information that we presented here and be giving you a clear indication where the misleading statements were made and how information was not properly distributed to the public for consultation.
Hi, Beth. Steve Llewellyn from the Daily Gleaner newspaper. Can you expand on your legal defense fund, please? What do you hope to accomplish with it, and when do you hope to start legal action, if any?
Well, we are going to start the fund, and we're in right now getting right for information correspondence from the city. We're in the process of analyzing it, and I tell you, as soon as we're ready to go, you'll be the first one to know.
What can you do legally? I mean, the wall's already gone. That's all the work that's supposed to be done this year. Nothing else is supposed to be done this year. So.
It could be a long battle. We're going to save every single stone and every single leaf that we can, every single bird nest that we can. The plans are for a total destruction of the square to be done next year. We're getting our ducks lined up in a row so that we'll be ready.
Will you go to court over this if you have to?
We sure will.
Could you say a sentence for us?
Yes, we will go to court.
I think we've made it clear to the Minister of Heritage, the federal, and to the provincial, and to the mayor, and all the councillors, that we're in this to the end. We will not take no as an answer.
Not going to back down. No way.
So I would encourage you all to call the minister.
Yes.
Call the minister.
John
Yes.
Ames.
Yes. And the city councilors, it would also be very nice. Say stuff like, you know, I voted for you and I'm never going to vote for you again.
I know that your voices.
Which councillors voted against the proposal last Thursday?
We don't have that information right in front of us, but I do want to make you know, aware that your voice matters.
Yes.
Every single person in this room, every single person who's listening or reading a newspaper or watching this on TV, your voice matters. No matter where you are in Canada, this is a national historic site. It is the birth of Canada's military. Please write, phone, whatever you can do.
When will you have information as to who voted for what on the city council?
That information is available on a YouTube video that, well, you can see it. You can see the vote on the YouTube video, but we will try and get that information available to you.
Jen Thompson.
Yes.
In answer to the question from this gentleman, I met with my counselor on Tuesday of this week, and I asked him that question because the information didn't seem to be readily available. And he said to me, it was unanimous. Since then, I have read that maybe one person voted against it, but my counselor said to me, it was a unanimous vote on Thursday.
Just before everybody starts talking, can we just ask a couple more media questions? Can you tell us what your RTI is about?
Can I defer that to Margot?
Margot, can you come?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
One right to information request has been submitted asking for the results, the dates, locations, and results of all the public consultation that has been conducted since 2016.
May I speak to that? Hello, my name is Christopher Durant. I'm an attorney that works with the law firm of Lamrocks Law. I've also submitted right to information requests on this topic. I received a partial response to my request yesterday that gave me the copies of the provincial heritage permits granted by the minister. One of them was granted in 2016 for a very general preliminary planning. The other one was granted on, I'll double check my number on this, but I believe June 8th, 2018, okaying the removal of the 5 trees and the changing of the wall. And this raises serious questions as to if they only received the permit from the minister on June 8, 2018, why did the city feel it was correct to go ahead contracting the roadway? Certainly, it's a recommendation that I'm making to this group right now that at a minimum, a complaint should be raised to the Office of the Ombuds to be asking for an investigation into the city's processes.
Is there any other questions from the media?
We'd love to scrum you afterwards, but we'd love to hear what other people have to say.
Can I just say something? My name is Colleen McGee, and I'm kind of late on this. I wasn't following it too much, but thank goodness I heard your interview this morning on CBC, which was excellent, so thank you, Beth. I love trees too, but I love the fence, and I want to know what happened to the iron fence from 1881. it's missing, and I want to know where it is and what we can do to retrieve it.
Well, there was one photograph of a construction worker sawing it in half, and I think the city made a statement that it was being sawed in half and then it would be welded back together. But we also have an eyewitness report saying that they saw a bulldozer pulling it down. And I also would like to report that I am in the knowledge of a person who went to the dump where they're putting the stuff, and this was about a month ago when the very first rail came down from the end, and the construction worker just said, oh, it's garbage. It was a city worker who said it was garbage, and 2 individuals took the 2 sections of the fence, and they're in safekeeping presently.
Good.
Yes. I don't live inside the city, but I grew up in the city all my life. I've been here 48 years. And I know personally, I spoke to a counselor in my area where I grew up. And to answer your question, the vote originally was unanimous. It was unanimous that everything be done, there was no question. And for progress, in the name of progress.
On Thursday.
That was, this was, when they discussed going forward with the plan, apparently the entire council was unanimous.
That's not
no question.
correct. I don't have the document in front of me, but I do know that one councillor abstained from voting. And it went so quickly, and the Robert's rules were
so
not.
That's what happened.
Robert's rules were not followed.
Right.
He did not ask for any questions on the motion.
Right.
He did not ask for discussions, and he just said all in favor. He didn't ask for all opposed, and he didn't ask for any abstentions.
Sorry, may I add just a moment? And in the same breath, he said, meeting adjourned.
So it's the same thing as voting no. Or
Well,
yes.
yes,
Sorry.
in the contrast, and we have a YouTube video of the 2 motions, the one that Councillor Roberts put forward, Kate Rogers, put forward, and the one that was put forward. And the handling of the mayor was completely opposite on the 2 motions. On Kate Rogers, Councillor Rogers' motion, he asked for any questions to the motion. And on following Robert's rules, when you ask about questions to the motion, it can be, well, what trees do you mean? And
Questions only about the motion.
About the motion, and which square were you talking about? But he permitted questions such as, will this hold up construction? And actually had city staff answer the questions, and that, permitting that, sways the vote. And if a councillor wants to ask that question, they have to approve the motion, and then they can ask the question. So it's just clearly inequitable, unfair handling, and a total ignoring of democratic rules, of Robert's rules.